Otherworldlyculture.com. Otherworldlyculture.com presents Now Streaming.
Now streaming, Suzy says hooray! Suzy all the way. Now streaming every single day. Suzy, come and play.
Good evening, and thank you for joining Now Streaming, part of Otherworldly Culture's Dead on Thursdays. If you want to grace us with your presence, please join the our live chat by clicking on the live shows link on otherworldlyculture.com website. Otherworldly Culture's Dead on Thursdays currently consists of 3 rotating shows. Alternating weeks, you will see Dead on Basis, the horror sports mashup, Dead on Movie Reviews, horror movie reviews filled with lively debate, and Now Streaming, the glitter-filled train wreck, presided over by yours truly, Suzy Snowflake, aka the Ice Princess, where we have a panel discussion on whatever movie I feel like babbling about for the night, as long as it is found on a free ad-supported streaming service, and as long as the great and the powerful doesn't tell me no. Tiaras and cosplay are not required, but are totally encouraged. The sparklier, the better. And it is not just the shows that rotate, but also my court of critics does as well. And for tonight's loyalish subjects, we have the Knight in Shining Hockey Masks, owner of Darkside Collectibles, the new sci-fi and horror specialty shop located in Plumboro, which is a suburb on the east side of Pittsburgh, right? It is the east side, east something. Correct. Anyway, yes. Now, also bringing you meet and greet, celebrity signings, and private events, we have Tim Godak. Yay!
Everybody, good to be here.
We also have my mighty marquee, fellow convention enthusiast. Ladies, if you're listening, he's the noble steed in a herd of trick ponies, Ohio's most eligible and most honorable bachelor. It's Mr. Marcus Jones. Yay!
Hi, everybody.
And for our New Year's Day or New whatever special, we have joining us from behind the curtain tonight, the legend who brings it all together, the great and the powerful, the Tim Kretschmann.
Hey!
Yay, yeah. So great and so powerful. As always, I must now say the following. Stumbling from the murky, moss-filled cemeteries of Muskego, Wisconsin, he is the brightest light in the sea of stars in the solar system. He is the most dapper, the finest fellow, the most marvelous mentor a little princess could ever have. There is no need to wish upon a star with a fairy godmother when you have a man like him. He is the webmaster for Otherworldly Cultures. He has the extreme responsibility of maintaining something, putting up with all of us, and he's stealing the spotlight from my cohort in crime, Mr. Jeff Miller. We have, again, Tim Kretschmann. Yay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, Suzy, I want to congratulate you. This is probably the best movie you've found on an ad-supported system. I love
Tim, I was going to say the same thing.
Oh,
I was going to say the same thing.
After what you put us through for Christmas, this is...
Listen. This is a great movie. This is a classic movie. However, watch what you say about the Christmas movie, because you will have an entire generation or 5 of blockheads coming to get you if you say anything about my Christmas movie.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I don't think so. You should have heard C-Slack when I told him we got to watch this one, and he's like, "Are you kidding me?"
Listen, blockheads. You should be more scared of blockheads than you should be of Swifties, or Swifties, or whatever followers. Anyway, on to tonight's movie. It's a mad world. Released November 7th, 1983. It can be found on Prime for $2.99, but we're not talking about that because we only talk about the free ad-supported television. So it can be found on Pluto, Tubi, or Plex. It was once found on Freevee, but apparently Freevee is not a thing anymore. So
yeah, Freevee actually got it. It was always part of Amazon as part. Freevee was actually IMDb television at one point. Then they rebranded
that,
it.
and hello to 2026.
Yeah, they rebranded and then they got rid of it, and now it's Amazon Video with commercials. But when they went to that, they removed Mad World. Huge
But now
mistake.
my question is, so the Amazon with ads, is that only free if you have a Prime membership, or is it free to anyone?
The answer is kinda. There are things that if you don't have Prime membership, you can still watch with commercials. But there's also stuff that if you have Prime, you see some things without commercials or with just commercials at the very beginning.
So they just
But
made
some
it all
things they throw commercials in the middle. So it's like, well, I don't really know what I get with my Prime on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
They just want their money.
They just get their money. They just get their money.
And we're all suckers for it. Okay, so anyway, the runtime. This movie actually has multiple different runtimes. So pick the one you like and roll with it.
I actually have a little to tell you about that. Because
well, good. I have other questions for you.
I'll wait
look,
then.
You have the most common version, which was the general release. That was 2 hours and 43 minutes. I think that's the one that I watched. You have the restored Roadshow version, which is 3 hours and 25 minutes. Mm-hmm. You have the original premiere version, which was 3 hours and 12 minutes. But against the director's wishes, the film was cut by the distributors because who wants to sit there back in the day and watch over 3 hours at whatever? So they reduced it to, again, the most common version, which was 2 hours and 43. There's other options out there too, but we already don't have time to cover everything. So who wants to sit here and drone on about the runtime unless it was Jeff Miller, who's not with us?
Yes, we don't want the podcast to be as long as the movie.
Mr. Great and Powerful, before you go on about anything else you want to say about that runtime, I do have a question for you though.
Yes, ma'am.
Because how they keep talking about it being the Roadshow version, and you were always saying how it's one of the greater Roadshow. What exactly is a Roadshow movie? Like,
okay,
I don't know that.
Roadshows happened over a very brief period of time in theatrical releases, the early 60s. Actually, I think every movie I've ever seen that was a Roadshow was like 62 or 63. It seems like that was the high tide for it. You have to remember what was going on at the time. Television was the biggest thing they were afraid of for movies. So they did a lot of gimmicks. That's when you saw 3D was getting thrown out there. This movie is in an ultra-wide format. It isn't Cinerama, which was the most well-known, but it was a similar format that it was in. But what they would do with some of these event movies, which make no mistake, this was one of the most expensive movies the year that it came out. What they would do is a roadshow, which meant, and this was unique at the time, it would start at a specific start time. You always hear about this with Psycho, that Alfred Hitchcock didn't want people walking in halfway through the movie. That's because it was common at that time. They would show a cartoon, then they'd show the A picture, then they'd show a cartoon or a newsreel, then they'd show the B picture, and then they'd go right around again. Okay, so they just would play movies back to back all day long. And you came in, and you might have been halfway in the middle of a movie or whatever, and you would just sit there and wait till you got to that portion of the movie again. That was how people went to see movies. A roadshow, they said, nope, showtime is 7 p.m. And to cement that, they also had assigned seating, which we all think was relatively recent, where we pick our movie theater seats in advance. This was done way back then. They also gave you programs. And the reason I bring that up is go on eBay once and check about some programs for this movie or any roadshow movie theater movie. A lot of them are very expensive at this point because they're super rare. Super rare. So that's a roadshow. While I'm on this subject, though, you'll notice some of the frames that I put up on the screen there, some of them are really wide and some of them are more of an HD size. I found pictures of every size out on the internet. What we watched on Tubi, if you watched on Tubi, you got, I think it's a 1.78 by 1 ratio, which is the typical HD ratio. But the movie came out at something like a 2.3 to 1 ratio, which is like super wide. Like that picture right there is the super wide version, or that one. So when you're watching it on one of the smaller aspect ratios, because there were so many people in a shot, you don't get to see them all the time. Like when they introduced the Three Stooges, I don't know about which version you saw, but you only see two Stooges. And they kind of have to pan across to get all Three Stooges in on that thing. And for that reason, some people don't even realize the Three Stooges had a cameo in this movie. And that happens to a bunch of people during this flick.
Okay. Anyone else before I move on to the recap?
Sorry, that was true nerdom. You know this is one of my favorite movies, so.
Well, no,
I
like
didn't
that.
know until after I picked it, just so you know.
I like that because it seemed like it kind of went in the two directions of like you described drive-in theaters.
Yeah.
With the system of the movies playing all day, it has an intermission because mine had an intermission and playing something else and then segue into the second movie. And then you talked about like the modern day where your set time, you're there or you lose it.
Yep.
And you pick your seat. So it's kind of cool how that kind of had both of things combined into one. It's just before it diverted to drive-in and current theater setups.
The first movie I ever saw at a theater was Snow White. They were re-releasing it, and they showed it in that they only had the one movie, but they had a cartoon in between, and then they played the movie again. So I came in, I remember this distinctly, came in during the scene of hi ho, it's off to work we go. And then when we heard that again, my mom actually said the classic line, this is where we came in, and we left the movie theater. That's how you did it at that time. So that's like mid-70s, early mid-70s.
That's how you used to get your show times, too. You used to call up the theater, and you'd have to listen, and you'd have to listen to the whole thing over again if you missed your show time.
Yes. Yeah.
That's true.
Or there was this magical thing called a newspaper, and they used to have
the newspaper, yeah.
And it was like a full page. I used to cut out the little movie ads in there.
So did I.
Yeah.
Put them on my wall.
The old days.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so to recap for anyone that didn't see this
take
movie.
control, Suzy. Take control.
What?
Take
Okay,
control.
yeah. Anyway. All right, to recap, what starts out as an action flick, thanks to a 30-second high-speed highway chase, quickly turns to an over-the-top comedy with an all-star cast that trumps all-star cast movies. Chaos, shenanigans, and lawlessness ensue as a variety of spirited characters race across California, pursuing the dream chance to hunt down, dig up, and claim a chest full of cash, all because they didn't question the senile ramblings of an old dying stranger on the side of the road.
How about
Because
that?
of
This
its
guy's
chaotic
still alive,
treasure
I tell
hunt.
you.
What? Oh. Because of its chaotic treasure hunt plot and pre-holiday rush release, it became an instant classic for family movie night, most popular over the New Year's Eve, New Year's Day get-togethers when looking for a big ensemble nonsense blockbuster to ring in the new year. Over the years, it has become the quintessential New Year's movie due to the celebrated cast that delivers almost 3 straight hours of iconic moments filled with hijinks, hilarity, and hope. Personally, I say it's a New Year's classic because once they ponder the reality of having $350,000, the men's concern over the dying old man lasts about as long as some of our New Year's resolutions. Moving on.
You better believe
The producer director was Stanley Kramer. This was actually the first time he directed a comedy.
Get the hell out of here.
What?
I said, this was actually Stanley Kramer, the director and the producer. This was the first time he directed an actual comedy.
He was known for message pictures. When he came out with this, he did like Inherit the Wind. And he later on, I think he was the director of Who's Coming. There.
Did Tim cut out? Oh.
No,
Yes,
you're back.
coming.
You're back, Marcus.
It was big all of a sudden on my
Yeah.
screen. I was large.
Yeah, he disappeared.
Yeah, me
for
too.
A second. But
Yeah, he did Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. He
Yeah.
did Death of the Salesman.
But that was afterwards. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? That
was
came
the-
afterwards. Yeah.
Yep. The actors, there's entirely too many cameos and supporting cast to mention. So if anyone has someone they want to talk about, pop out now, because again, we could spend 3 hours just talking with the cast.
My favorite too.
Yeah, go ahead.
My favorite too, of course, the Three Stooges. I had to rewind and watch that a couple times, although it was the newest Stooge playing Curly. So that didn't excite me too much.
Yeah, Curly passed.
But that was exciting, and I was really excited because I didn't realize, but when Don Knotts popped in the scene, because I'm a big Don Knotts.
I said the same thing.
I was like, no way.
By the way, he was playing a character called the Nervous Man that he had created, and that's what led him to Andy Griffith.
Well, what was funny though was that wasn't just Don Knotts, but it was the other guy, Norman Fell, who was also in it, and they were both the landlords in Three's Company.
Correct. And Norman Fell at that time was mostly known for straight parts. He wasn't really known for comedy. So it's kind of interesting, that casting. What I always find very interesting is there are definitely tiers of comedians in this. There's a lot of what I would call Vegas comedians, like Buddy Hackett is in there and folks of that ilk. But really, the movie is almost taken over by TV comedians, because you got Milton Berle, Sid Caesar, Jonathan Winters, Phil Silvers, and Edie Adams, all coming from television. From movies, in the main cast, you got Spencer Tracy and Mickey Rooney. And then you're going to cameos like Jerry Lewis and Don Knotts was in movies at that particular time. In fact, Jerry Lewis probably was the biggest comedy star at that time that's in this movie. A lot of big comedy stars, like Bob Hope, didn't get in here because
Don Rickles wasn't in it.
Don Rickles used to always tease Stanley Kramer about
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. The other one that I want to mention as far as a cameo was Barrie Chase. I have a lot to say about her because she was probably my favorite in this, even though she was just a cameo, because she was the bikini clad chick in it. And I want to know how many takes it took for her to have, do it, Marcus, do it. Yes. Like, I understand she was only in it for maybe 2 minutes, but that was just like iconic. She did not, I don't know how she got through it. It was great.
She does a great job in it.
I want to learn that dance.
I do want to mention, though, the movie would have been better if she would have joined I would have loved for her to have been in The Pursuit with that whole stone cold face like the whole time too. I thought that would have been awesome. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen her with her. I don't know if it was her boyfriend or husband, whatever he was, the dude she was with,
Dick Shawn,
the bumbling son. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know what they were to each other. Doesn't matter.
The storyline behind it is that he was having an affair. And because in the credits, she's Mrs. somebody or other.
So I would have loved to have seen more of her. But also I'll jump to trivia just because I'm talking about her. She is currently the only surviving cast member at all. So she is still alive. She was in Cape Fear, Mardi Gras. She's an amazing dancer. She did a bunch of specials with Fred Astaire, but she currently is still alive, and she's the only person still alive from this entire movie. So
I don't think you had to mention she's an amazing dancer. You see that on the screen.
Wait, how'd you dance? Do it.
He was cutting that rug.
Never missed a beat.
Think about this, though. How many of the casting choices in this movie were second or third person that they looked at? Jonathan Winters' part was originally going to be Jackie Gleason.
Oh my Lord.
I am not.
I would have cried.
That is absolutely true.
You some bitch.
The part that's of most interest to me is Sid Caesar and Edie Adams. Edie Adams was Ernie Kovac's wife. Ernie Kovacs and her were supposed to be in this movie, but he died in that car accident just before, and she decided to go through with the movie because he left so much debt. She didn't say no to any movies.
And because she made a promise to pay off all the debt. So, yeah, she works just to do that. I also wondered, though, because she didn't say much. She was so pretty in this. I wondered if she got paid, like, by the word, because she did not speak very much. Most of her scenes was just, like, her facial expression.
I think she was actually still in mourning at the time. I don't think her heart was totally in it. But get a load of this. Actually, it was not originally supposed to be Ernie Kovacs and Edie Adams either. It was supposed to be Mickey Rooney and Judy Garland is who it was written for. Judy Garland had television commitments and was not able to come in, and they brought in Ernie and Edie, and then Ernie dies, and that's how Sid Caesar gets in there. And I think Sid Caesar does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Another one to point out is Terry Thomas. That was supposed to be Peter Sellers. And for whatever reason, Peter Sellers couldn't do it. And I actually feel like, I'm not the biggest Terry Thomas fan, but I think he fits that character much better than Peter Sellers would have done. So
sounds like completely different movie.
It would have been completely different, but it still would have been epic and giant. You know, it's just a huge, huge thing.
There were certain cast members for me that reminded me of the spotlight characters, like Bernie, the character Bernie. He reminded me of like Curly. You know, like the Three Stooges and stuff. Certain characters just gave me that aura.
Okay, that was playing Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, yes, it made me love the characters because they just, whether they reminded me of their other roles or they reminded me of another actor or character, and it set me off. I was giggling the whole time.
You either loved their characters or you hated their characters. Like Ethel Merman did a great job of being the most obnoxious mother. Like, I really think her character in this movie is why people complain about mother-in-law. So it was great.
Why they have mother-in-law suites?
Yeah, she's great as a human, but her character was like she did the character so well. You really can't stand the woman.
It's fantastic, but I will tell you, I think they miscast the quote star of the movie, Spencer Tracy. I think they miscast that. There was original talk that Jack Benny was going to be in that part, and I think he would have been fantastic. The other name that sometimes gets thrown out is Jack Lemmon, and I think either of those two would have been superior to Spencer Tracy. I think Spencer Tracy plays it almost too straight in a movie full of jokers. So I thought
that was the point.
I think that is the point. But if you notice, they gave him a comical role though, because he's dealing with his henpecking wife and all of that stuff, and it needed more reaction, and he deadpans the entire thing. I will say, if you look at some of the roles, you know that they were the one and only choice. Phil Silvers could not have been played by anybody other than Phil Silvers because he plays Phil Silvers in this movie. And I know when I first saw this movie on VHS way back in the day, I immediately found Sergeant Bilko and started watching him because I think he steals every scene that he's in. But were there any characters you guys saw that you were like, I want to check out more of what that guy does?
So, not to cut anybody off, I just want to ask a quick question. The pilot, the drunk pilot.
Yeah.
Is that the guy who voiced Mr. Magoo?
It is. That is Jim Backus. He is also the millionaire from Gilligan's Island.
Yeah,
they're the two things he's best known for.
The only reason why I asked is because, so when I watched this movie, I purposely said I'm not going to look up the history of the main cast.
Really?
No, the movie would take 4 hours if you start doing that.
Well, because
you're not lying, because I did.
Yeah.
Well, because I literally was hearing voices, like hearing their voices their mannerisms, and they reminded me of Looney Tune characters. Mm-hmm. They reminded me of different cartoons and different shows. And I was like, I can't wait to talk to these guys and go, was that such and such? Did he do this? Was she in this?
Because the answer is yes. Yes to all of that.
As soon as I heard, he was like this, feel me an old-fashioned good boy. I was like, Mr. Magoo.
Hold on.
What can happen to an old-fashioned, all right?
An old-fashioned.
You can't see. He can't see.
Now, before the Great and the Powerful completely steals the rest of this movie, Timmy, what your thoughts on the cast?
Yeah, I thought it was phenomenal. I loved it. I didn't know who a lot of the people were, but I recognized them. You know, of course, they're all so young, so like it's hard to. Right. I'm like, wait, I know that face, you know. But I absolutely loved the cast. I thought it was stellar. I thought, as soon as you told me you were watching this movie, I thought to myself, oh, Suzy with another old movie I've heard of, but seen. I'll admit, I've never seen it.
Oh, really?
Never seen it. This is my first time watching. I'm like, 3-hour movie. This is going to kill me. And then yesterday, my daughter's like, Dad, you know, tomorrow's Thursday. And I went, oh, crap, I got to watch this movie. Man, I had to watch it 2 or 3 times.
So with that being said,
loved it. I laughed out loud so many times. The characters' performances were phenomenal. I loved every character in the movie.
So with that being said, the two of you that never saw this before, would you consider this something that you would watch every New Year's?
Heck yeah.
I never considered it a New Year's movie, but yeah, I certainly, I
never heard the New Year's thing either.
That was new to me. But I definitely want to add this to my library of some movies I'm working in my rotation because it really did. It giggled me.
It's a summer blockbuster.
The best thing about
watch it every 4th of July.
The best thing about this flick is you don't actually have to be looking up at the screen the entire time. It is perfect background because I got to know this movie.
Because it's 3.5 hours long.
Yeah.
You can literally do, how many things can you do for 3.5 hours that this one just goes?
Yeah, I learned this movie by having it on VHS back in the day and listening to it. And nowadays, I have the Blu-ray, which is, what did you say, like 2.5 hours or 225 or something like that?
2 hours and some,
which has the entire intermission that is like 10 to 12 minutes. But what they did on these road shows, they actually recorded the music and gave you like a still shot of It's a Mad World up on the screen. So, and they would play the music into the lobby and into the bathrooms. And what they did is they actually made little police announcements, like you were listening in on the police radio, and they would say those two are trying to blow up the whole bottom of the hardware store again, and stuff like that would just go through while you were in the lobby getting popcorn or doing your business or whatever. So they got that all captured in that Roadshow edition of the Blu-ray. That's the one I have. And it also has that scene with the gas station and Jonathan Winters.
He tore that place up?
Yeah.
Destroyed the path of destruction in this movie.
Listen, the physical comedy of this show.
He's really nasty.
Yeah,
that physical comedy had me in tears. It was like an SNL skit for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, what else can he possibly do?
One random
all these guys are stunt performers.
The answer to that is it's actually about 10 minutes longer in the cutout. It's insane.
Timmy, you mentioned something about the stunt. What were you saying about the stunts? Because
I said it's almost like every singer actor had to be a stunt performer as well, unless they use a lot of stunt performers.
No, they use a ton of stunt performers.
It's funny that you should say that because I did see a thing where it said when the film was made, there was only about 100 stunt performers in the United States. So during all of these movies, you only had about 100 people that were actually considered stunt performers, stunt actors, whatever. And to make this movie, 80 of them were actually on the set.
Congratulations, well done.
That's
another question.
Cool.
You watch this movie and you're like, they must have been the greatest stunt drivers of all time doing this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that nobody died on this set is amazing.
That we know of.
I thought I saw that. I thought I read that one person did die during the making of this film.
Oh, really? Google it. Tell us. I need to know.
I could have swore that I saw that.
I didn't know that. I do know the stunt that I have kind of coming up every so often in the GIFs here of the plane going through the billboard. That they destroyed that plane was not flyable after that, and they just barely got that thing landed. They did a number on it.
I hope they did that shot last.
One.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sure you read the same thing I did. Go ahead.
What I want to say, one random thought that I had for any of our viewers who haven't seen this that want to check it out. Just forewarning, because I started it 3 different times because I thought there was something wrong with my television.
I was about to ask you the same thing.
All right. So I really thought my TV was broken. I thought the app kept crashing because when you first started, well, one of the reasons, first of all, that the movie is 3 hours long is because there's probably about 15 minutes of intro credits.
The famous Saul Bass did the credits. The same guy that did Psycho.
But so when the credits start, the screen goes black. So you can hear things going on, but you see nothing but darkness. There's nothing. And so I was like, what is wrong with this? So I got out of the app, went back in, and it kept happening. And right when I was about to just give up and get pissed off, then it's like, oh, wait, no, it's supposed to do that. So
And remember, this is part of that whole Roadshow stuff. So at that time, the music has started, and there's still ushers taking people with the little flashlights. These are your seats. Here's your program. You know, all of that was going on, but they had custom music for it. The other movie that I have a Blu-ray of a Roadshow was The Happiest Millionaire, which is a Disney movie. And they actually put something up on the screen so that you kind of know that it's starting.
That's no fun.
They got the same complaint.
You don't think you're losing your mind like I did.
Yeah, it is strange. So, yeah.
Jimmy, how's that
By the way, there were no deaths. There were a lot of injuries, but there were no deaths.
Oh, yeah.
What is for the injuries? Tell us.
There was a death. Someone who was a stunt performer, though, ended up dying later doing Mad Max.
Well, yeah.
He was the same. He was in Mad World, not.
Okay, but what were some of the injuries?
What's that?
Were there any cool injuries?
It didn't say. It just said there were multiple injuries.
Oh, well, that's lame. So
Phil Silver's almost died, though. He couldn't swim.
And
he goes into the drink. We show you the picture of that in here, and he freaked out because he could not swim. But they got him out of there.
So not only were there a lot of injuries in this movie, but because the movie was so popular, it actually spawned 9 different films that kind of created, not like they were sequels, but they all created, there were 9 other movies that were kind of like, oh, let's make this movie sort of like, that's Mad world.
Can I guess
your list? Okay,
can I guess
ahead.
one?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Well, first of all, you can, but there were 5 that were Indian movies, and I don't know how to pronounce them, so I didn't write them down. Go ahead. And then I'm going to seen these ones. Go ahead.
I was going to suggest Cannonball Run.
I was going to say the same thing.
No, that's not one on there.
That's not an official list.
I didn't make this list. I just found the list.
No, that just caught me off guard.
It has Cannonball Run vibes.
It has a lot of Cannonball Run, Gumball Rally. Both of those movies seem to owe a lot to this film.
And here's the thing. Those ones may have, and they just don't admit it.
Right. They're not direct. They're not direct.
Not the same kind of cast or
Yeah. So these, there were 9 that specifically said we modeled this movie after it's a Mad world. Yeah. So.
I can't. I have to recuse myself because I have a similar list over here that I made of my own.
Okay, well, one was The Unbelievable Adventures of Italians in Russia from 1974.
That's one I haven't seen, but
I have never seen it either.
I am currently on the prowl for that one. So
All right, so we'll have to watch that one night. There was Scavenger Hunt from 1979.
an excellent film.
Although when you do your list of things that you think kind of remind you, I do have one that reminded me of it too. But anyway, sorry, squirrel. Wrong show. There was from 1987, The Million Dollar Mystery.
Okay, I didn't have that one.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the last one, and this one I knew, and I do love this one. It's from 2001. It's Rat Race.
You didn't say Midnight Madness.
That's that's the one that
I was waiting. I was letting you have that one.
Well, that's the one that I was going to say is on my list, not on the list that says, like, so those ones that I listed were ones that gave credit to Mad World. Yeah. Then there's all of the ones that we say, Cannonball Run, Midnight Madness, which is one of my favorites that everybody knows.
Tim G and I got Cannonball Run.
Yeah. So you guys have Cannonball Run. I was going to say Midnight Madness is the one that I think of.
Have you guys seen Rat Race? Have you
Yes,
seen
I love Rat Race.
Do you know who directs it?
No, who directs
I was shocked. I didn't know this. It was Jerry Zucker. He was one of the guys behind Naked Gun and
Zucker movies.
Airplane and all that stuff. But
and there were the ones in here that made me think of Airplane too, by the way. Just so.
Yeah. Another movie that people forget about is The Great Race. Came out only 2 years after this.
Yeah.
And that was a similar kind of like race for money type of thing. The Love Bug is similar in a lot of ways. I love The
Love Bug.
And it has Buddy Hackett in it. So there's definitely a callback going on there too.
And like I said, those ones just didn't admit that that's where they got it from.
There is, since we do talk Tubi, there is an Indian movie called Dhamal that supposedly is a direct remake of this movie. Dhamal.
Well, and that is one of the ones that was on the list. Yeah. That's just like I said, I knew I was not going to pronounce the Indian movies.
It was apparently one of the biggest hits in Bollywood because they've made, like you said, I think about 5 of these. And it is available on Tubi with subtitles. And I plan to be attacking that one in the future. I don't know that I'm going to rush to it because I'm not real excited about all the... I don't know how slapstick's going to work with subtitles, but
especially Bollywood.
So I looked up impacts and legacy influences that this movie had, and Rat Race is one, but the second one in line is Cannonball Run 2.
Yeah.
Damn right.
And those magnificent men in their flying machines, The Great Race, it's a 666 world, and Million Dollar Mystery.
Wait a minute, it's a 666 world?
666, not 666.
Oh,
yeah, but it says
I was about to say there's a horror version of this.
Explicitly parodied. It explicitly parodied.
If there was a horror one. I'm sorry, Timmy.
Write that down.
I just said it explicitly parodied the title and premise. It says.
Well, someone needs to make a horror movie now based on this.
We can do it. Listen, you can throw me around.
All right, I like it. Or you can just be lifting people up.
Honestly, though.
Yeah, you do the throwing, Marcus.
Think about this for a minute, though. This came out in 1962. By the end of the 60s and throughout the 70s, one of the biggest epic type of movies that kept coming out were disaster movies. And those were dramatic versions of It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. They had like 50 stars in all those things. Yeah. And, big stunts going on in those movies.
Look at Smokey and the Bandit.
Is Smokey and the Bandit, I would say, is also in here, or like Convoy. Those movies are similar as well. But I say the whole disaster movie.
Adventure, Towering Inferno, Avalanche, all those.
All of those, all the way up to Independence Day.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, even Independence Day.
Yeah, it's a man world. I call it cast stuffing.
But you know what?
You guys may be too young for this, but in TV Guide, when they would show those movies, they would take a full page ad in TV Guide, and there'd be little circles with each of the celebrities that were in that movie. And I'll remember forever being very excited to see The Swarm, of all things, because of all the big stars that are going to get killed by killer bees. Oh, my God.
Well, and one thing I read about this was when they were trying to do the credits, he was very worried about who was going to get top billing because there were so many people. So he obviously gave it to Spencer Tracy, because apparently the rest of the cast was in awe of being around Spencer Tracy. And then the dead guy, I guess he got top billing.
Jimmy
Did you notice at the beginning of the credits, it was like alphabetical order, then they kept switching them and jumbling them around?
And then that's what I was going to say was after those two, he just decided to go with alphabetical order from everything else.
Sorry to interrupt. Mine didn't have credits. Yeah.
Yeah, that was in the opening credits. Mine didn't have credits either. It's just like cut to black. And just,
Yeah.
You could hear them, but you couldn't see them.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
There are a million cuts of this frickin' movie.
Did anyone watch it though, to where the intermission actually went through? Like there was a real intermission and not just intermission, but then like the word and then it.
It was just orange.
I had the word intermission.
Intermission.
I didn't watch
the 2 hour and 40-minute one.
Yeah, I didn't watch it this time because I was timing the ads. But on my Blu-ray, it goes all the way through.
There was enough damn ads. They didn't need no intermission.
All right, Marcus, you've been chomping at the bit. Go on, hurry up.
Suzy, listen. First of all, let me just say.
Listen.
Let me just start off by saying I miss you all. It's been a while. Suzy, normally when you pick a movie, I want to take a pillow and bop you one. Because for some reason, you pick movies that make me want to take an eye and leave it there, walk away so my ears don't bleed, and then come back and put my eye in to see what I saw. Okay? Wow. But this was a very, very good movie. You did a great job, and I love the history of it. Now.
I love you too, bitch.
And I'm only saying this because
I want to say something though.
You always want to say something.
Yeah.
Well, funny thing though, I have to give a disclaimer here to Marcus giving me shit, which he's allowed to give me shit. But the funny thing is, we actually have a lot of the same tastes in movies, though. Is the funny thing.
We do. It's almost like you go, how can I make him mad this month? And then you go
never. Would I do something like that?
I have a theory. I think Suzy does her selections a lot like my buddy Jeff on Dead on the Bases. I don't think she knows a lot of these movies when she picks them.
Oh, that's bullshit.
She made us watch a Hallmark movie.
With the New Kids on the Block movie.
I am giving you cover. I'm giving you cover and you won't take it.
The majority of these movies are some of my all-time favorite movies. Some of them.
Hold on.
A lot of them. Some of them aren't. Some of them are just random.
Let's review.
Let me get this out.
Catfish Christmas.
He didn't finish.
Last Country.
Okay. So there were segments of ads that played 140 minutes, or I'm sorry, seconds. 140 seconds of ad time. Every ad averaged about 15 seconds. Some of them were repeat ads. Like the ad would literally finish, and then that same ad would play all over again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, Marcus, it's a free app. What do you think is going to happen? You get what you pay for.
I had 12 of 140 seconds. I had 12 segments of ads. There were 86 ads.
86?
86, sir. I counted.
Sir.
Holy cow.
12 segments.
I'm gonna put up what the info I have from why is it not going up? Well, anyway.
I'm only saying this to say.
Now you did Plex, right?
Yes, sir.
You were watching
They had
Plex.
so many ads. YouTube owed them money. Continue.
Well, I ran it through on mine, and the entire runtime of me sitting down to end credits was just shy of 3 hours, 2 hours and 58 minutes.
Mine was a little over.
The movie runtime, the time that the movie was running, was 2 hours 37 minutes for whatever reason. The ad time was 20 minutes, and the count was 44.
Now, how the hell he get half of what I got?
First of all, I'm more wonderful.
I see this.
There it is. There, I got it now. So what I've noticed is Tubi is starting to get in the middle of the pack for our listings. Tubi is starting to show a lot more commercials, but it sounds like Plex is going to be one that's really looking to beat the band. By the commercial ratio right that I had, we had 9 breaks on Tubi. The ratio was 11.6% of the time, which raised our ratio for Tubi up a bunch of points. It was not 11.9 before I did this one. So,
Tim, I could have watched the second movie with them ads.
Oh my God, yes.
Well, too bad you didn't. You watched a great one. See, that's what happens. That's what happens.
Listen here. You gonna keep doing that stuff. You gonna quit acting like my pain. You gonna quit acting like my pain is your pleasure. Too bad.
Baby, your pain is my pleasure.
Shut up! And you too!
But see,
that's what you sound like right now. That's exactly who you sound like.
That's what happens when I give you a movie you can't complain about. You find something else to complain about instead.
Calm down, Ethel.
Suzy Q. 12 segments of ads.
But listen, anytime you've complained about a movie, you haven't complained about the ads. You've just complained about the movie. So I give you a movie to not complain about, and you still find something to bitch.
Suzy, I'm sorry. Suzy, I'm sorry.
You whine more than I do.
I will say, when I sat down for this one, I made sure I had gone to the bathroom. I was like, this is going to be an epic long night here. And it did not disappoint. There were a couple of runs that I made during the ads, which usually I don't do with these because I'm so worried I'm going to miss the timing. And I was like, if I miss the timing, it's just too bad. I got to go.
All right, I'm taking back over so that before
No, Tim, what about Tim? No, what about Tim? Tim, what you get?
Get what?
He didn't pay attention. He just enjoyed the movie.
No, I started watching it on I believe it was Plex, and I actually had so many commercials that I decided to switch over to YouTube.
Oh, so I'm just a dumbass who plowed through it.
So I finished. So I actually watched it on YouTube, and whenever YouTube was over, I realized that I pay for YouTube Premium. Commercials.
Way to screw it up, Timmy.
So I felt, but I'll tell you what, he's not wrong. There's so many commercials on that Plex that I couldn't do it.
That's crazy.
Suzy, I ain't gonna lie. Suzy,
but I was late, Suzy.
I did that for you, Mama, because I know how much you like the premise of using the free apps and keeping track so people get the bang for it. But good Lord, you could have plucked a nail off my foot, and I'd have been okay with it if it would have cut them ass in half.
Maybe.
Okay?
Maybe you should have just watched it with a nice, fine woman who could have massaged your feet the whole time you were watching it, and then you wouldn't have.
I wouldn't have been watching the movie at that point.
Which is again a reminder for everybody watching: he is our most eligible bachelor, so you better get in on that.
We'd have been making movies.
He's like, I'm a
couple of random facts. Let me see, because I think we talked about most of them, but there are a couple that I want to mention. Mickey Rooney, who we all love that was in this, he died in 2014. He was the last surviving member of the main cast. So, like I said, chick, the bikini-clad chick, she's still alive. She's the lady who's still alive, only person still left. But Mickey Rooney was the last surviving main cast member.
And kids, Mickey Rooney is the security guard from Night at the Museum.
I did not realize that. This was actually nominated.
Wait a minute.
Him and Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
They were the two security guards. That was one of his last roles before he passed. Sorry.
I don't know. I haven't seen that movie in years. So
Okay. That's acceptable.
This was nominated for 6 Academy Awards. It won one for Best Sound Editing and it won 2 Golden Globes. And this was the first film made in one projector cinema, whatever, where most movies at the time were using 3 separate cameras. So that's something for GNPU, because I know you're into that kind of crap.
Well, it's Cinerama, the really big one, would be, it was almost like 3D you shot with 2 cameras. Cinerama was 3 of them. So if you ever get a chance, watch Once Upon a Time in the West, and they actually have released it in full Cinerama on your TV, and you'll wonder why you paid for the top and the bottom half of your television. It is letterboxed so much, and you can actually tell where the overlap was, because they would project it with 3 projectors in sync to cover that entire screen. It is crazy.
One other interesting thing that you guys would appreciate is the film was so crammed with action, because I know you guys like your action and you like the little stunts and things, but each one of the leading actors was actually given 2 scripts. One script had all the dialogue and one had all the physical comedy and all of that crap in it. So I thought that was kind of neat. I don't know how many movies have actually done that, to where you get 2 different scripts. Because
I would want to see the practice of that.
Right?
I suspect that was the second unit director script, because like if you watch closely the gas station scene, you can tell Jonathan Winters, when his stunt double comes in and like pushes away those barrels when they're being thrown at him, because he lost like 40 pounds. He like went on instant Ozempic and bammo.
I don't think they had that back then.
Well, same thing with the I forgot his name, but the captain. When you seen
Milton
him run,
Berle.
Captain.
Yeah, when you seen him running and his hairstyle changed, his shoulders and everything, I'm like, oh, okay, there's the double. When he was running up the steps or certain little scenes, I was like, oh, okay. But throughout the whole movie, he looked completely different as far as his hairstyle and his mannerisms. But then when that chase scene at the end hit, you could definitely tell vividly. Oh, yeah. But it was pretty interesting.
Like the very end when they're all falling from the building and the little thing, and you can just see it's like.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I didn't like that.
Do you know who actually animated some of that?
Who?
Willis
People
O'Brien.
from Mr. Rogers.
Who?
Do you know who Willis O'Brien is? The guy that did King Kong.
Oh,
okay. Well,
the guy that did King Kong, that was one of the last things he did, was that stupid ending sequence there, which is done. You can tell that was a guy that was phoning it in and just, I'm out of here.
The only other thing I have is I have a random question. Someone can tell me. So this was in the early 60s, and they were chasing $350,000. What would that be today? Like if the 4 of us were chasing this down, what would we be chasing? $10? Is that what you're telling me, Mark?
10 million.
10 million? You know this for a fact.
I think 10 million would be the number.
I looked it up in trivia.
You think,
so I'm recusing myself.
bro? What?
I know. I'm thinking. I'm guessing.
GP, what'd you say?
I looked it up, so I'm recusing myself.
Oh, Timmy.
I'm looking it up now. Cheating.
I don't know. I didn't look it up. I was waiting for you to tell me.
You wanted an honest, earnest answer, and then you criticized me for it.
Wow.
I would definitely go with you 3 and go track down this in current time. It would be worth it for us. But
what is it? How much?
Answer that I pulled up, I don't know if it's the same as Tim, but this is the answer that came up whenever I searched it up. It says $350,000 around 1960 is approximately worth 3.8 million today.
Yeah.
So 3.8.
Yeah, that was about the number I got to.
So wait, Timmy, question for you. Because you said you would totally jump in and go on this little escapade with us to get the money. But my question for you is, would you do it based off of the ramblings of a senile old crook that was dying on the side of the road?
Well, he was right. They if they would have just played themselves cool, they would have all been fine. But they had to be greedy.
But I'm just saying, if we saw some
pull together the plan.
You are Sid Caesar. You are Sid Caesar.
Some guy on the side of the road dying who mistook you for like his aunt or whatever, and then said and was telling you that there. Would you really believe him and go half?
No, honestly, if he went off the side of the road after like driving crazy next to me, I'd have just kept going.
I mean, for the record, he did metaphorically and physically kick the bucket.
He did kick the bucket. Is that where that
Can
came
I just
from?
say, for the record, when he did that, I went, "Oh, this is gonna be a good movie."
You know what I love about that scene is they show him kick the bucket, and they just show that bucket going for like 20 seconds down the hill.
You
like,
can still hear it even when it cuts back to them. You can hear it pinging.
Oh, and I do have the sound effect on that. Hold on. This is Jonathan Winters looking down the hill, and he says,
How about that? This guy's still alive, I tell you.
Right? Then, right after the kick the bucket, this is the first line out of Jonathan Winters' mouth.
That guy's dead. You better believe it.
Well, I believe it, all right. But if he jumps up again like he did before, I'm going to get the hell out of here.
So they bookmarked that. First he says he's alive, and then that guy's dead.
You better believe it.
Well, I know you really, 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 really want to share some of your favorite quotes with us. So go ahead.
All right. Well, my absolute favorite is about Ethel Merman.
It's like if she were a star of a real crummy horror movie, I'd believe it.
I love that line so much. Another great one is Jonathan Winters, and this actually, it was in the Tubi version. I'm not sure it was in your Plex version. I know it's in the Blu-ray, but I love this line. It's so hilarious to me.
Listen, everybody has to pay taxes. Even businessmen that rob and steal and cheat from people every day. Even they have to pay taxes.
No.
I don't remember that one.
I think it's cut in some versions of this movie because that was not in the version I had growing up. That was not in there, and I love it.
I even like the little spot at the end when the guy comes out of the bushes when they're like, he had a shovel, and she's like, maybe he was a prospector.
Wait,
mine.
The one sound I couldn't find that I really wanted is Milton Berle describes Dick Shawn, and he goes, "You be careful of him. He's not normal."
Yeah. I like that one. Mine would be the guy that picked up the truck driver.
Okay.
When he went to go get the tire fixed, and he hit him with that spill. He's like, come on. I need a new tire. The spare's in the back. Matter of fact, the spare don't work. What are you looking at? Quit staring at me. I'm like,
is this a staring contest?
Yes, I love that level of, I'm going to hit you with something real quick and with a lot of passion, and it's going to be hilarious when you listen to it. And I loved it.
Here's one of Phil Silver's lines to Don Knotts.
If you're a patriot, you listen and you listen hard.
I love that. You listen and
they're not looking for you. They're looking for me.
I'm just going to sit back and let y'all do your thing now with your
When I get a hold of that smart aleck, what I'm going to do to him.
Anyway,
he was mad.
I've literally got a bunch of these. What I love about the lines in It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, you can take them out of context and they don't really, they don't do much for you. But, even like Edie Adams here. Let's see.
You know how I hate explosions.
Look, it's perfectly all right.
I love that line because he goes on to say, Sid Caesar says, "Oh, the dynamite's way over there."
And the funny
part
thing
is
about
it's
that
true.
is how she said that, but I guess apparently she didn't know they were using real dynamite. I don't know if it was that she didn't know they weren't using it or they told her they weren't using it. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's just got a lot of things. I can tell you there are lines that I use all the time. Sid Caesar at one point, and this is another one I couldn't find. Sid Caesar says, "Oh, we on fire!" I don't know if I have ever done a barbecue where I haven't used that line.
I think I've heard you use that line before, not
Who?
when talking about this movie.
Yeah, I love that line. One of the lines that's in here that Jim Backus says, he says it's the only way to fly. That was a huge catch line at that time because he was using it for airline commercials. A lot of the things that Jonathan Winters says about Merman, including the crummy horror movie, I love that stuff. But then he talks about Phil Silvers, and
Like, this guy was ugly. I mean, like, real ugly.
I love that. And what was the other one? Oh,
When I get a hold of that smart aleck, what I'm gonna do to him.
he starts talking about that.
He's like,
And one of the best parts is Phil Silvers passes them when they're all in that pickup truck and Jonathan Winters is going off. And he starts screaming at Phil Silvers, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to destroy you," all this stuff. And then Terry Thomas looks over at him and he says, "So do you know him?" Someone you know or whatever he said. It's so good.
Yeah, the
I just
funny
liked
thing
it. I liked
is
it when he
that
looked at the lady. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, honey.
No, I was just adding to that when he was doing that, and he said, looked at the lady. When I get a hold of him, you just turn away because I don't want you to see what I'm gonna do to him.
Just turn away. Turn away. And the line reading is so perfect. Buddy Hackett at one point, he goes, "Ew, what happened to you?" I wish I had that. If that was on the board, I would use it every week with Jeffy Jeff.
The funny thing is that we've discussed this for an hour, and there's so many scenes or funny like interactions that we haven't even discussed, and we just.
I love the entire plane scene with Mickey, Mickey Rooney in the plane with who was it? Was it Buddy Hackett in the plane with him?
Yes, Buddy Hackett.
Those two flying that plane, and whenever they were tossing around, the guy in the back trying to make the drink, I was just dying.
Actually, one of the things I love in that scene is something that the guys in Airplane ended up doing a lot of. When Jim Backus first gets kind of knocked out, and they're trying to just maintain the plane. If you look over their shoulders, he's up on the roof.
Oh yeah, he's upside down.
They're doing all that.
Oh yeah,
and that's one of the rules that Zucker, and Abrams has is if something's funny happening in the background, play it straight up front, and if the joke's happening in the front, play it straight in back. So they made sure that they were playing relatively straight because Buddy Hackett can hook it up whenever he wants. He's playing it pretty straight at that particular moment so that you look over his shoulder, you see Jim Backus flapping around back.
Love that scene.
All right, boys. We're getting close to calling it.
We are.
So now it's time to rate the movie.
Yep. Let me hit some buttons here.
So, Marcus, we'll be like the credits and go in alphabetical order. Go ahead.
Hold on. This thing is still warming up. Okay. Marcus.
All right, Marcus, all you.
What are you giving?
I'm gonna give it a laughing emote. I giggled the whole time. Nostalgia, and I've never seen the movie, but the nostalgia of reminding me of other characters they've played. Movies, shows, cartoons, it just really set me back. And I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff anyway. So, Suzy, you did a great job.
Well, naturally.
Great job.
Timmy G.
I'll go ahead and since he used the laughing, I'll give it the heart. because I had never seen the movie as well, and I absolutely loved it to the point where I even purchased it afterwards. I'm like, I'm going to watch this again. I'm really curious to see the over 3-hour version. I would love to see that and see what's
Without
missing.
the ads.
See, but yeah. But yeah, definitely a heart.
I've seen Rat Race. I really kind of want to watch the other movies now that actually admitted that they modeled their movies after it. Like I said,
I'm watching Rat Race again now that I know Jerry Zucker did it.
Yeah.
But like Scavenger Hunt, Million Dollar Mystery, not the ones that we mentioned that we've seen that we love and we compare it to, but the 3 that I haven't seen that did model after it. We're going to be snowed in this weekend. I kind of want to watch those 3 while I'm stuck here doing.
I will tell you, if you have Cannonball Run, the original one, on DVD, it has one of the best director's commentaries I've ever heard. Because the stunts that they did are insane. And that was directed by Hal Needham, who's, Mr. Stunt Guy, did a lot of those Burt Reynolds movies. But they actually have the organizer of the real Gumball Rally Cannonball Run. He's the other guy in the director's commentary. And a lot of the stuff in that movie is true. Obviously reshaped in times and stuff, but a lot of it is true. Like, there was a group that decided to soup up an ambulance and go across the country with it. That is something that factually occurred. So
all right.
You watch that with the director's commentary and your jaw is just like...
Okay, well, great and powerful. While you're on your roll, what do you rate the movie?
Well, I think it was pretty obvious I was going to be love on this one. It is probably in my top 10 movies of all time. I just love this flick. I could, I was worried we were going to go 2 hours tonight. So I behaved myself more than I thought, and I was rambling anyway. It's a great movie and worth watching over and over again.
Now, I need to start with, I do love this movie. Everything was great. Mm-hmm. I do have to be honest, though, and say I didn't love the ending, like the very ending. I didn't like it.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. I feel like after all of this and how much we loved it, and like you said, we laughed through the whole thing, I kind of felt like the ending, the very end was kind of a letdown. Spoiler for anyone that hasn't seen it, but if you haven't seen it, it was from the 60s. Get over yourself. You should have watched it by now. I would have liked for the cop to have gotten away with it in some capacity. Whether it was I would have liked to have seen the cop completely get away with it, or get away with it with the chick that he talked to. Remember how the girl, the one chick, the wife, she is like, oh, well, I don't know, I'd take the money and go join a convent. I would have loved to have seen those two.
You are the first person I have ever talked to that had any sympathy for Spencer Tracy's character, ever. I would have liked to see Phil Silvers get away with it.
Hold on, I wasn't finished. Listen, I would have liked to have seen the cop join up with everybody else and all of them split it up. Or if it ended with all of them saying, how you get a share, you get it, like that would have been the great ending to me. Like they all would have got it. He would have teamed up with them, and the ending would have been them all just never really figuring out who got what piece of it.
Or somebody random, like a little kid.
Yeah, think of how brilliant that opening is, that they had 4 cars, but 5 guys go down so that the shares would be all screwed up from the very beginning. And Caesar's sitting there with like 35 different ways to split up the money.
And I wish that's how it would have ended, was with the same thing,
I give 50% credit to you, Susie, where I thought and was hoping the wife would have got it.
Yeah. Because she didn't get
spotted the W, and I was kind of hoping she just kind of walked over there, grabbed it, and walked away.
Milton Berle's
because she was very quiet and put together and not insane through the whole thing. So to see her just kind of carry it up and walk,
because her character wasn't really doing anything at first. She was just kind of tagging along, and at one moment she's supporting her husband, but then she's defending her mom, and she's back and forth. And I'm like, would you make up your mind, And then that moment came when she had that conversation with the captain, and I just went, yeah, she needs that money.
Right, exactly. See? So like that. So anyway, I'm not trying
But I
to hate
wouldn't
on the
want
movie.
Spencer to get it though.
No. I just wanted.
If she would have walked off with it, that would have been funny. I would have.
Yes.
I would have backed that.
Well, like I said, I gave a couple different scenarios of what I would have liked. I just didn't like the ending. I feel like it was a letdown with after everything else. But I'm not hating on the movie because again, I love the movie. I thought it was great. Just saying. If I was to remake it, I would remake. Oh, I know. I would remake it with all those different endings that I just said. Kind of like, do you remember when Clue came out in the 80s?
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say they should make multiple endings like Clue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They can show what everybody would have done.
Yeah,
that would have been funny
too. You don't. Yeah, see, all right, we all have to remake it and come up with.
I think everybody likes to debate. One of the debates I always have with people on it is, okay, take Spencer Tracy out. Who's the star of the movie? Who's the star of the movie? Who do you think is the star? And I usually get one or two answers. Who do you think is the star of the movie if you take Spencer Tracy out?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Just pick one. Who do you think is the star? I know what answer I get most often.
Milton
Berle is number one most of the time when I ask the question.
Yeah.
And the reason is he does everything. If you watch him throughout the movie, he upstages people like crazy. He is out of control. Every time there's a group shot, he gets himself in a spot where you notice him. He's wearing that stupid hat. He's wearing that hat so you look at him. He leaves the screen every time they would say, okay, now everybody walk off. He would always be the last one to leave. So if some of you are going to watch this again, watch Milton Berle. If you want to learn how to upstage people, if you're ever going to be like an actor or something, he is like a master's class on how to upstage people in a shot. Like that stupid thing, he's always eating the seaweed. He's moving his hand to his face to say, look at me. Look at me. It is crazy. Everybody always says Milton Berle. And I'm like, he's in it as much as Sid Caesar. He's in it as much as, my favorites are Mickey Rooney and Buddy Hackett and maybe Jonathan Winters. I feel like Phil Silvers is the funniest. I laugh the most at Phil Silvers. So everybody kind of has their own thing, but Milton Berle comes up most often when I ask that question.
I don't know. I'd have to think about it. But
okay,
I give it a laughy face.
You give it the laughy face, which is that one.
Yep, I gave it a laughy face.
Well, nobody was angry at the movie, even though it was 3 hours long.
No, because it was fun.
Yeah.
I was mad at the math.
I was mad at first when I saw it was 3 hours, but after watching it, dude,
I did that for Suzy Q. I'm telling you right now, because I'm like you. I'd have bought the movie and lied. I'm like, oh, it had 3 S's. Yeah, 3 S's. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you guys for joining. Thank everyone for enduring us, and I think that's pretty much it. We got shameless
plugs. We got
to do our shameless plugs. How could I forget about that?
We'll try to keep it within reason. But remember, Dead on Thursdays is coming to you every Thursday, and we've got great shows every Thursday. Check them out, and you can find our shows on virtually every podcasting platform. But most important for all of you watching tonight is there's a very special place, Darkside Collectibles, that we're going to hear about from Tim right now.
Darkside Collectibles, your one-stop shop for all things horror, sci-fi, and fantasy. And as Suzy said earlier, we're also going to be hosting events. February 7th, we have a Mighty Evening with Sean Weiss from Mighty Davis Goldberg, the goalie for the Mighty Ducks. He's going to be starring in a brand new independent horror film called D4 Melody that we're going to be screening right here in the building. It's your only chance to see it. People in Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh will be the first to see it before it actually becomes a big thing. So, and I've heard nothing but great things. I have not seen the movie, but I've heard nothing but great things about it. So we are absolutely excited to watch this movie with Sean Weiss in attendance.
Now, is he tortured in the film by being tied to a hockey net? And
we're going to find out.
No, but speaking of hockey nets, we will have one there so that you can get your professional photo with him in the hockey net.
And
he will be in a Mighty Ducks jersey.
Yeah.
And we've got popcorn. Popcorn is standard all day long, every day.
You're an adorable man.
Right.
Adorable.
I have a feeling you might have a hockey mask nearby too, in that particular establishment.
Or two.
And a very tall individual who could put it on for you.
Yay. All
okay,
right.
that's that, Susie. You can do your close.
All right. Thank you for joining. And please remember to rate us, like us, follow us, share us, help newbies find us so Otherworldly Cultures can keep doing its programming and I can keep giving Tim the Great and the Powerful as many headaches and obnoxious whatevers that I do. Reach out to us. Email us. It's our names at otherworldlyculture.com. DM us. Whatever us. Happy belated New Year. And until next time, don't let the haters dim your sparkle. Reach for the remote and keep streaming. Good night, everyone.
Otherworldlyculture.com.
Subscribe, like, and comment on our posts all over social media and our site, otherworldlyculture.com.